Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube. Kevin Rogers with you. Brian Edwards joins us for SEC picks for this upcoming Saturday. Of course, we'll break down the showdown between the Crimson Tide of Alabama and the Georgia Bulldogs as they will meet up in Tuscaloosa on Saturday night. Brian so far has dominated on these videos. This is our fourth week of doing the SEC videos, and Brian 8-2 so far on the season. And he went 3-1 last week. He nailed the Alabama Ole Miss over. That was one of the easiest picks you'll have. Also, he hit the over on Florida, Texas A&M. Also, South Carolina destroyed Vanderbilt. The only loss, the Gators falling at Texas A&M. But this week, we look at three more selections in the SEC as we bring on Brian Edwards. And Brian, let's begin with Auburn taking on South Carolina. The Tigers survived against Arkansas last week, and as mentioned, South Carolina knocked off Vanderbilt for their first win, and South Carolina here is a short home dog.
Yeah, I'm liking South Carolina here. I think they got a really good shot to win outright. Bo Nix is really struggling right now, and he has struggled on the road throughout his career, certainly as we saw against Georgia a couple of weeks ago. They've got three really good receivers, Anthony Schwartz, Seth Williams, and Eli Stove. Stove did not play this past week and is listed as questionable. And KJ Britt, their best linebacker, he was out last week and remains out. And Felipe Franks had a big game against that Auburn defense, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions last week. And I think, South Carolina was really close in the Tennessee game. And they played Florida, pretty tough. And then they manhandled Vandy last week to give them a little momentum. And I just think that South Carolina is actually a pretty decent team despite the 0-2 start and the fan base being all over Muschamp. And I think they have a really good chance to win outright, but we can get them at +3 or 3.5, and I'm going to go that way with the Gamecocks as home dogs.
Now, taking a look at the second game, it's Arkansas and Ole Miss, and the Razorbacks, who have been very tough this season. They were predicted to finish towards the bottom of the SEC, but Felipe Franks, the former Gators quarterback, now running things for the Razorbacks, and they hung with Georgia in the opener. They came close to beating Auburn last week. They beat Mississippi State earlier in SEC play. And now they take on Ole Miss, and Lane Kiffin's team can't defend anyone, and you like the over in this one.
I do, and you look at Ole Miss's offense is ranked second in the nation in total offense, fourth in passing yards. They're averaging 41.7 points per game, but as you noted, don't we only have 76 FBS teams playing right now? I'm pretty sure. And they're dead. So 76, they are dead last in total defense, dead last in run deep. They're giving up more than 300 yards rushing per game, and they're dead last in scoring D, giving up 51.7 points per game. I think Sam Pittman and Lane Kiffin, although they're only 1-2 straight up each, I think those two are my SEC coaches of the year. Obviously, only 3 games, but and yeah, Franks has played well for Arkansas. And look, the over's 3-0 for Ole Miss, combined scores of 111, 83, and 86. Now, granted, the Kentucky game was only 70 in regulation. I mean, this is a super high total for an SEC game, but I like it over. Ole Miss can score on anybody, as they have proven to Florida and Alabama and Kentucky, all three. Well, I'm not going to call Alabama or Florida's defense good right now, but they were expected to be good. So even though the high number, I like it over 76.
And for the final selection, the primetime game in Tuscaloosa, Alabama and Georgia. And we know Nick Saban's track record against his former assistants, and he faces off with Kirby Smart, who he's beaten in a couple big games in the SEC championships over the years. And now we'll see if Kirby can get over on him. And we saw Alabama last week just totally slice and dice Ole Miss, but also their defense did not look that good. And Georgia looking for the victory in Tuscaloosa, but you like the total in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go over 57. The over is 3-0. for Bama, combined scores of 111, 76, and 57, but it could have been a lot more points they called off the Dogs late third quarter offensively. Alabama's number 3 in the nation in total offense, 2 in passing yards. They lead the country in scoring at 51 points per game. And I have never seen an Alabama defense struggle the way this one is under Nick Saban. Maybe that first year when they only went 7-6 and beat Colorado and Shreveport. But since then, it's just been dynastic defenses. They're giving up 473 yards per game right now, 322.3 through the air. Now, it's a small sample size, just 3 games. It looks like Georgia might have the best defense in the country, but this is Alabama's offense they're going against. And Georgia's offense, not great, but Stetson Bennett's playing well enough, and they did score 44 last week, and I think this one will get over the 57, Alabama and Georgia Saturday night at Bryant-Denny.
Let's recap Brian's picks for this Saturday in the SEC. He's going to take South Carolina as a home underdog against Auburn. Also has the over in the Arkansas Ole Miss game, as well as the over in the showdown between Alabama and Georgia on Saturday night. And Brian so far 8-2 on the season in these videos, coming off a 3-1 Saturday last week. And we thank Brian Edwards for joining us. I am Kevin Rogers. Best of luck with your bets.